Oops. um, wrong one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. I'm letting you guys know real quick that yes, I'm a little hoarse because I got a little bit of a cold. That's one of the reasons why I decided not to do this yesterday. Today, I'm randomly deciding like I kind of want to use my N64 controller, except you know how I mentioned. Oh, wait, hold up. It's actually, dang. Oh, um. Okay. So you know how I mentioned that it's set up to where I really want to do it previously on it. Anyways, so how I mentioned how like for some reason for the Pro controller or whatever. Then again, I noticed it kept doing that on whenever I was playing it on handheld. So I don't understand. Anyways, last time, because I wanted to show the previously, we got the oscilloscope. Then we departed the rocket hideout. Wow. It's kind of... We defeated Erica. Yeah, I guess we're headed to that. Now here's the crazy part. Basically, I have to play this the opposite hand if I try to use my my N64 controller just for fun. Because I like using this controller when I'm using like the more simple games, you know? But especially like if I'm using like the game rather I'm using like the Game Boy Advance or things like that, which hey, this is a Game Boy Advance game, so it makes sense to use, you know, this. But because the way it works, the cross pad or the D-pad or whatever you want to call it, since that is set up, since that's basically set up so that it always is, it always does start select or whatever, like A and like right is A, down is B, up is start, left is that. Because it's set up like that, you can't really play it like that. I mean, you can, but it's like it's dang. Oh, double dang. Extra dang. You kidding me? His hits? Anyways, I might not be talking as much to this because of this. And of course, I'm put to sleep. Yeah, so because the way they have it set up, it's honestly I just don't like how they have it set up like that. So because of that, like I basically have to play this as if, you know, I'm left-handed or something. Which is like super awkward. So, in other news, So, the other day, I played like I did a run for like a roleplay thing I'm going to be doing with a friend. And my character is going to start with a Bulbasaur. And so I decided, so I went and did like a full, I went and did like I played through with her full team or whatever, because I was curious about when like her team would evolve, so I could have it evolve more naturally as the roleplay continued. And I thought one thing I found was interesting. How do you immediately wake up? Whatever. I need to heal because... Anyways, so one thing I found was interesting is you won't actually evolve your Venusaur until a lot later if you do like a full team. Well, I guess it wasn't that much later because like technically because of what I did, I started with a Bulbasaur and then did a are you kidding me? I thought it just Razor Leafed and been done with that. I did record it because whatever, so I might actually include a little bit of clips from that in like the thing. I also did a thing, but like you have to remember I did because I started with basically only 2 Pokemon, right? Because I started with Bulbasaur, picked up a Zubat, because the other Pokemon I wanted to get... Oh, that's so awkward. Yeah, I'm going to swap controllers real quick. I wanted to play with this, but it's kind of dumb. I don't... Like, there should be, like, a setting or something. To be able to swap it out or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, give me a minute. Swap controllers. Thought it'd been cool to play with that, but because, like I said, it is super comfortable when playing a game that only has, like, you know, like A, B, and A, whatever, for Game Boy Advance games, things like that. It is super nice. But obviously, it's not going to really work because of the cross pad is now B and A or whatever. What am I doing? I don't know. Anyways, we have to go back. So, either way, yeah, I found that out. I don't remember even how much like Venusaur actually helped with stuff, but yeah. And of course I did Squirtle, and like, man, one of the problems with Squirtle still had like the same issue, blah blah blah. And it's going to be like a little hard because since I was doing it on emulator, so I had speed up functions, and yeah, I really miss my speed up. The fact that Squirtle is going to be basically stuck with Water Gun until, I forgot to use a thing. Let me run from this guy real quick. Anyways, I have been playing Champions some. There's a lot of stuff going on. It was like, oh, it doesn't have all the Pokemon, which it doesn't bother me as much because they don't have all the Pokemon, because I get it's supposed to be like the next competitive thing. So all they did was like they evolved all like first off, all the Pokemon that's available is fully evolved Pokemon. Which, funny enough, this might be the first time you can't actually have a Pikachu in your game. I don't think you even have the evolutions either, which is crazy. But either way, so because they only included evolved forms and whatnot, a lot of people are like, oh no, this is terrible. Like, I mean, if you really, I'm generally curious if you actually take all the those Pokemon and give them their pre-evolutions, if you would have about a decent size regional dex, right? They're just starting that, and they'll be adding more later. Like, that's fine. Granted, would I would have liked to have, you know, like the entire thing from the get-go? Sure. But that's what they didn't. They decided not to do with that, and I'm okay with that. I don't understand. Like, there's some other things that I don't. I kind of like. Well, first off, the whole, oh no, 30 frames per second, blah blah blah. Like, I don't care as much. If I'm being completely honest. Here's a Switch 2 support. No, you're playing a. Like, this game has to run on both a Switch 1, a Switch 2, and mobile devices. So, like, oh, increase the frames per second, but like, then you're just gonna because like, you could have a Switch 2 face off against a mobile player, or against a Switch 1 player, etc. So like, wouldn't that like I don't exactly understand how like. I guess I'm not like big on like frames per second, but like, wouldn't that desync things? Like, I could be wrong, but like, the goal is like, yeah, they want some improvements on like the Switch 2 version, but as I already mentioned, I guess to me it makes sense if the main difference is actually playing on that. And funny enough, when I actually play on my OLED Switch 1, obviously, it actually looks pretty good. It's like, oh, look at all these fuzzy things. I didn't really notice anything like that. Like, but that's the thing. Like, if you're going to sit out and check this stuff out, I mean, actually, it may be possible that because the Switch 2 is possible because the Switch 2 like amplifies it, kind of like how like some games, or like kind of like how like if you try to play like an old what do you call it? Like kind of like how you can try to play a like an N64 game and plug it into the TV. It's not like a newer one. It kind of doesn't look as good because it's designed to look good on like other like different systems. And would it be cool if they could somehow fix that? Yeah, but admittedly, like I said, I don't have a problem. As for apparently some other complaints is there's no way to face a CPU. I agree with that, but like, okay, first off, on the one hand, yes, I would like to be able to do that because that's just something I want to be able to, like, I like being able to. Sometimes I find playing against other players to be a little bit more, also I use the term daunting, but like, it can become like pretty frustrating for me, and even if I'm still winning, like sometimes I get just burnt out, and so I need a break. So it's nice to be able to keep going in this thing by being able to shift down in order to watch. Oh, huh. I just realized the red is over his one hand, but not both hands. If you hear me sniffling and snorting, I'm sorry. So, yeah. Anyways, but But sometimes I like to be able to stay in the thing that I'm playing, but like shift her to a lower gear before I go back to like the gear that I'm in, you know? Otherwise, I'm just going to take a step away from it and, you know, not going to really make any progress. Like forever for me to get the Great Ball. Like, because like every time I got like the match that would get me to it, I kept losing. Because it felt like I kept suddenly now I'm facing a little bit more of an uber team when like up to that point I hadn't been. So it's super weird. So I kind of wonder how they actually have that set up a little bit, because it is weird that every time I got to the rank, the match that was going to, you know, upgrade and rank up, we do that. So I kind of wonder if it's like a specific way, but I don't know. Other than that, I mean, admittedly, this game, I mean, Champions is designed to be a ranked. Basically, it's supposed to be a PvP-based game. So, that's why, am I disappointed? Yes. Would I like for them to add it? Yes. Because, I think even more so, because, like, you don't have the option to, because, like, they changed a lot of stuff, right? Including, like, I think new Pokemon get new movesets, things like that. So you don't get a way to test your team. Yeah, because, like, yeah, there's, like, literally no way to test your team. So you don't get to do that before you have to do ranked. I guess, technically, you could do, like, casual matches. But I guess it's still a thing. But then the weird part is they have, like, little story segments, which feel really awkward to me. Because I'm like, that means that there's going to be players that you're not going to be able to see certain story beats simply because they can't get to the next rank. And I won't deny, I don't like that. If they were going to add a story element to it, they should have actually had, like, a way to progress the story, essentially, without having to do PvP stuff. Even Fortnite, like, technically you don't have to. I mean, yeah, you have to be in a PvP type setting, but otherwise you don't actually have to, so it's just, I don't know. To me, it's, I just don't like that fact. Yeah. Like I said, there's certain things about the game that I do kind of, it's like, the fact there's only 180 some Pokemon. Would I like more? Yes. Do I have a problem with them starting with less? No, not really. Because, I mean, like, for example, who's going to be taking a Charmander into a game that's designed to be competitive, you know? So that makes sense. They don't add Charmander and things like that. Would it be cool? Like, would I want them to eventually add even those Pokemon too? Yes. That way you could do, like, because you can do, like, different things, like a Little League or something like that, you know? So, excuse me. So that's why, like, there are certain things I do agree that it makes sense. I do hope they start adding some Pokemon again, because, like, again, having a Little League, things like that. Another thing that I don't know why I went so bad. But some other things I didn't like. For example, first off, you have a membership, right? But the membership doesn't unlock the Battle Pass. Like, why? Just about every single other game that has, like, battle passes, the membership includes the battle pass. So I don't understand why it doesn't. Because what are you paying for with the membership? You get a couple extra boxes, okay. I guess that's kind of helpful, but, like, if you're just going to get Pokemon from home, which, admittedly, probably more people are going to be doing that more than not. So if you're just getting Pokemon from home, then like I'm just kind of looking at the. Sorry, it's like my thing's kind of flashing back and forth between like output 1 and output 2 because right now I have it set up so that it's hopefully streaming to both YouTube and Facebook. So, hello Facebook, how are you? I guess I can pull up the Facebook app in case someone's commenting on that because I didn't actually, because I had the YouTube one set up. Let's see. Is there a way to look at that? How do I just look at my own profile? Oh, I can't really see anyone, unfortunately. So, oh, huh. That's fun. Got a little closed captioning on there. That's kind of fun. Anyways, but yeah, if you comment on it on live, I don't know exactly how to actually like see it. Because on YouTube, I have it like I do have it like set up so that I can just look at it that way. Because I can see the stream, but I guess if someone comments on it. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, no, what's that thing? What's this? I don't know. Sorry. Anyways, back to champions. Either way, it's like, okay, so you get, I guess you get a couple more tickets to get Pokemon, but again, if you get, like, even if all you do is just get base home, you know, you get, like, 30 slots, which, I don't know, I guess you could only put 30 Pokemon into it, but I mean, then at that point, like, you might as well just update home, you know? If you're gonna do one, update home. But, anyways, you get a couple of musics. I don't know what, like, I guess, I don't know if you just no longer get access to the music if you no longer have the membership. But if that's the case, there's only, like, I think 2 music on there that you get from that. I don't think the membership is worth it, especially because it doesn't include the Battle Pass. Like, if it included the Battle Pass, then, like, yeah, I could say, yeah, okay, you get the Battle Pass plus these extra perks. But I don't think the Battle Pass is, like, I mean, not the Battle Pass. The other perks is, like, worth it, you know? Side note, another thing which I don't like that they did was the fact that, like with like they did with Pokemon Unite, whenever like you pick your character, the base character, which is the skin tone and like the gender, whatnot, you can't change after you pick it. I absolutely hate that. Like, if it's like a story reasoning, then why is there a story in this? Actual like this is supposed to be ranked and things like that. Why is there a story mode? You know, I wish it was more like live, where like you could freely swap your base character. Yeah, I think you can still like make adjustments to the character. Some of which you have to purchase the extra stuff for it, but I don't know. Okay, what am I doing next? We just beat that. So I can get into Saffron now, I think. But it is a fool's errand to go after Sabrina right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get Strength. Yeah, we'll get Strength, take the bike path, and then what is we clear here? I think you have to actually go into the like. I don't know if you actually have to go into the center. Because I think that one of the games it actually was specific. If you did not go into the Pokemon Center, it wouldn't like make it a fly point. All right, you. I was positive I already caught him. I mean, dealt with him. Forget it. He dies, he dies. Anyway, so honestly at this point that's really my main concern. I don't like that because again, as you can see here, a lot of the times when I like do streams and things like that, I prefer my character to like I prefer to use the male character, because it's supposed to represent me. Otherwise, I use my OC character, which typically is a girl. And that's why it bugs me sometimes. But, now of course you woke up. Maybe I can put you to sleep? Nope. Come on, put it to sleep. Yeah, I know I don't have to catch it, but it's just a legitimate Snorlax, and I guess it doesn't really matter because, how often I actually use it, but still. Snort accident. So I'm just, it's funny to see what it says. I said Snorlax, and it says Snore accident. It's funny. Oh, that's an accident. Yeah, I caught it. Yeah. Anyways, didn't spell it right, but Alright, cool. It's supposed to be like an item here, but anyways. Right, I don't know why. I just go forward. Either way, could there be some things that I do hope the Champions does better? Yes. for the most part, it's fine, you know. The goal is they want to do that, so I understand them slowly adding extra Pokemon. I am hoping that they do include some kind of like Little League or something so that you can be able to do like Charmander and then. Because it would be kind of fun to actually use champions as more like this is the place to like actually like change your Pokemon. Another thing I kind of didn't like is the fact that which I don't understand the point of this. So okay, so you could take, let's say you take a let's take a Blastoise, right? So you have a right, we'll go with Venusaur. So you take Venusaur, because like right now IVs aren't a thing in Champions, which I'm actually completely fine with. I know there are some competitive people that are like, oh, that helps. Like, I'm not saying it probably doesn't, like really high advanced type level things, but I am fine that it's not there. It's just one less thing you have to deal with upgrading and stuff. I'll be right back. I'm back. Anyways, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so okay. So let's say you have a Venusaur, right? And you improve its stats. Or whatnot. But the problem is if you take it out and send it to Champions, but then after that you can't take any improvements from Champions into another game. I'm like, why? Because like, is it because they don't want you to cheat in those other games? But you can still send it to literally any other game to increase your IVs. Same thing. So it's not like you don't, and it's just the way the game works. It's not like you don't earn it. So that's why I don't understand why it's like that. Yeah, I could see we're getting dangerously low. If he ever decides to use like explosion, we're done for. But I do not like you. Stop doing that. Ugh. Man, I really need to just some. The worst part is that I don't know if this is his last Pokemon. Stop using smokescreen. Oh great, now he's attacking. 11. That's weird that like a crit is like an odd number. Okay. Yeah, I got a potion. They have a decent potion. That'll work. I'm glad I can't get poisoned, though. Thank you. Please tell me he does not have another Pokemon. Thank you. Oh. Mate, what are you talking about? I made you mad. You're the jerk who decided that it was a good idea to stinking use a smokescreen stat. Funny enough, in that other full team one, I ended up having Venusaur keep cut instead of upgrading the strength because of just to help spread out my HMs better. It's gonna Razor Leaf me. You kidding me? Last guy. Until we have to do the rest on that. But I'm gonna go ahead and go heal after this. More for PowerPoint reasons. Especially. Oh. Hey. Hello, Nobu Knight. Thanks for the sub. And all that. Yeah, right now, yeah, we're doing, this one, and then once this one's finished, I'm going to be doing, Blastoise. Which is basically just solo running Blastoise, because our goal is to find out which starter Pokemon is the best. After that, I have a shiny lock to get back to, because I kind of paused it until I could get access to Pokemon Home. Because basically, I didn't really actually have a good way to like keep like any of the shiny Pokemon that I got while playing the game, because I only have one copy of a Pokemon Legends ZA. And so if I failed the challenge, you know, I didn't want to get rid of my legit shiny Pokemon. But now I have home access, I can just throw them in the home. I do kind of wonder if I'm going to decide to, what's Gen 6? Huh. Funny enough, X and Y was actually probably the games I played the least number of times. Well, technically that goes to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, because I've only completed that twice. And Let's Go Eevee, I actually ended up finally finishing, like, late last year. after having it for almost like 10 years or whatever, however long that's been out. Although I guess I did try to reset it a time or two, but I never actually like finished it. But I think the biggest problem with me with X and Y was simply because I had both X and Y. I kept Y for, like, at the time I was just keeping both of them. I ended up resetting X, but I didn't actually play it that much. Plus X and Y was the first time where, like, in older games, you could start a new game and now, like, delete your save file. But X and Y was the first time where, like, in order to start the new game, you had to delete your old save file. Granted, Gen 5 did it weird, to where you could start a new game, but unless you actually deleted your old save file, you couldn't actually, yeah, unless you actually deleted your save file, you actually couldn't, dang it. Yeah, you actually couldn't save, but you could still play through a new game. You couldn't do any features that required you to save, you know, like if you tried to save, it's like, oh, sorry, you can't. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, at any time if it attempted to have you save, it would actually, like, reset the game. So you actually didn't even want to try to save. Well, if you wanted to delete your save on X and Y. Because if you deleted your save in X and Y, you could replay it, but unless you actually deleted your save, you can't replay it. And back in the time, I actually didn't like deleting my save files. Are you kidding me? Why would you disable my good move? I think one of the things I kind of didn't... Oh, really? Nice. I started a solo lock between me and a guy. I don't know if you know Frankenstein Gaming. It's another channel on here. Ah! So I said that because nothing messed up. Okay, hopefully I'm back. For some reason, my screen monitor keeps going into sleep mode every so I have to make sure I move my mouse, because despite the fact that XSplit, that progress thing I'm running, despite the fact it's running, it'll keep doing stuff. But anyways, so me and another guy, Frankenstein Gaming, we were doing a soul lock. But we haven't coordinated a time to be able to continue it yet. But yeah. And we were doing a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Yeah. True. Lots of people are busy. Anyways, once I clear off all these guys on the road, I can finally get the Fuchsia. And snag some teeth and surf, as well as strength, which will give me strength so that I can replace cut with strength. Because it's weird, because when I was the first time I looked at Venusaur's moveset, I didn't see that he could learn strength, and I don't know why I didn't see it. But yeah, thankfully he can, because otherwise it's gonna be, I have to use cut the entire time. And oh, so I guess you and anyone else. Okay, so here basically the rules. Obviously, I can only use my starter. My goal is to figure out which starter is the best with your typical playthrough. Now you can't. Now, the goal is I want to see how well they do without having to use any like the goal is to try to use as minimum resources as possible, because I feel like that would affect it. For example, Venusaur can learn Earthquake. You don't get it till later, but it's only I use that as an example because it's the first one that comes to mind. So Venusaur can get Earthquake. The problem, you only get one Earthquake. So I feel like that is, sure, you can give it Earthquake, but not everyone's going to want to teach Venusaur Earthquake, especially because it's the only one you can get. So I feel like if I actually need to teach it a move that you can't get again, that's going to lower the score about like the Pokemon. If you can get it again, but let's say like HMs, I don't count towards it because it's basically like, well, no. I'm allowing items in battle simply because there's not much of a reason for that. But either way, so like, okay, so HMs they don't bother me as much unless somehow you get to an HM, because essentially they can be reused, and as long as you get access to Lavender Town, which has the move deleter, which you can easily swap out an HM or whatever, so that's not that big of a deal. Unless I like found out like it didn't, but either way. So HMs are pretty much free. Other ones that aren't would be, for example, I think like trying to think of a move. Like I'm almost positive that Ice Beam you could buy in the store. But I think Blizzard you can in the department store. Basically, you can buy it. Like any TM that you can just buy at the department store will actually be a little less than, say, if it's something that like you have to get by anyways, so if so basically like at any point if you need to get a okay, so but if you get it through like the gambling place, then that will be a lot less because it's a lot harder to get TMs that way. Not impossible, but harder. So that's why to me it would affect the score. Now, Venusaur is fun because first off, because some good moves, like first off, Earthquake is even if you counted Earthquake, you can't learn Earthquake until you don't get that till the 8th gym. Think Sludge Bomb would be an awesome move, but first off, it's a one-time only TM, and you can't get it until post game. Body Slam is now, instead of being a TM, it's one of those teachable guys. But two things: one, that is still only a one-time use thing, because I think like later you can, like right before the league, you can get takedown. But because it's a one-time use thing, it would be in the same category as like TMs and things like that. So, but that's not until post game either. So right now, the moveset I have is just kind of his. This is it. I mean, yeah, you saw I got Synthesis if I really wanted to use that, but since I can. I don't know. So far, in Kanto, Venusaur has been. He's not been very as good as you would think. For example, he struggled with the very first challenge of the thing, which was Viridian Forest. He was like, oh, he's great against Brock. Sure, yeah, he's great against Brock. But you just gotta get the Brock. And all those bug-type Pokemon? Sure, yes. Can you get through it? Yeah, sure, fine. But, you're gonna have to stop every so often. Like, just about every battle, you're gonna have to stop and deal with healing. Or whatever. Maybe every 2 battles, something like that. But again, he doesn't do good against bug-types. Charmander? He breezes through it. Because, like I said, I already did Charizard, and he breezed through Viridian Forest. On top of that, he only needed one like, I bought all the trainers, like all the trainers up to that point. I went and grabbed the extra rival fight that you can get. So I did him, and all I needed was 1 extra level. Got the Charmeleon. Brock was easy. And I think even for that extra level, I think maybe I took out 3, maybe 4 wild Pokemon, so that wasn't that big of an ask. Especially because, again, 1 Ember, boom, they're gone. And again, moving forward, like when I got to the next route, it's like that Ember is like really helping. Like any Pokemon that comes out, and yeah, obviously I have a Charmeleon at that point, but at the same time, go back to Venusaur, or Ivysaur at the time, he was struggling because he kept going against flying types and some bug types, things like that, things that he struggles against. Like right now, you have a lot of poison type Pokemon that you have to keep dealing with. So that's something that you don't really take, a lot of people don't take in consideration when they're talking about Venusaur. Yeah, you have other Pokemon, but like to me, if your Pokemon is going to be so niche that you barely use him on your team, except for like special things, you know, that's a problem for your starter. Oh, as for Misty, for Charizard, or actually, I do say Charizard. Basically, I attempted Misty. So first I went up the north side, fought the rival, did all the stuff, got to Bill, came back. I attempted Misty, and Charmander was not having it. The water pulses, boom, not Charmander, Charmeleon, but it didn't work. So I pressed forward. I did that. I skipped that. I mean, I skipped Misty. Went down, did the SSN stuff. I did everything except getting, like... Except I did, like, got right up to getting, yeah. But, I did everything up to getting... I keep forgetting now. This guy, I have to get now, because I can't get him before. But... So I did everything up till being able to use Cut, because to get into the Viridian City Gym, because you do have to beat Misty to use Cut outside of battle. So I did that. Then by that time, I have a Charizard. Obviously, if you have a full team, you're not going to have a Charizard by this point. But you're also going to have access to other Pokemon, like you're going to have access to Oddish or Bellsprout or whatnot. You know, because that's literally when you get them, like in that north area. So you're gonna have Pokemon that can help take out Misty. But anyway, but outside of that, Charizard went in there, boom, Misty wasn't a problem. After that, for the most part, I didn't really struggle all that much with Charizard. Like, the most problems I had was power points. Because obviously Flamethrower only had, because Yeah, you got Flamethrower pretty early. I did keep Ember for a little bit until I think I replaced it with, like, Slash, I think. And like I said, a good fire move does really well in Kanto. Even Ember works really well. So that's why I kept it for a bit, but then I eventually got rid of it. So I was actually mostly using Wing Attack, funny enough, which Wing Attack is pretty good. As an aside, back when, I don't know if you heard me, but, like, I was doing a thing for a roleplay and I, like, breezed, like, I went through it, and with, like, I think a Bulbasaur, and then I had a Zubat, whatever. Like, the Gold Bat with Wing Attack, man, Wing Attack was a very good staple for thing, or whatnot. Both by seeing it with, like, Charizard using it, and then later, Gold Bat using it. So, I mostly just used Wing Attack. Anything else I need that, I would shift to using, Flamethrower. And, yeah, there were a couple of water, like, there might have been a water type here or there that gave me maybe a teeny bit of trouble. But for the most part, like I said, after Surge, actually no, Surge was a cake. He just, a couple Flamethrowers, he was down. In fact, there wasn't even a single gym that I actually had to leave after that point. Until the 8th gym. But I think part of that was because suddenly... now even Sabrina actually wasn't that big of a deal. But after I beat Blaine, because I kind of, like, first off, I didn't do really any of the water routes. I think maybe I accidentally hit one trainer in the water routes. And then the route between Fuchsia and Lavender, that little area there, I actually didn't do that. I ended up coming back to it later, but because I didn't, the levels started to get closer, and so I actually struggled a little bit with the 8th gym. It was like a lot of the struggles was mostly just they actually man I didn't one hit KO them, so I had to go and heal afterwards. It was mostly that type of stuff. After that, it was pretty much fine. It's then, well, okay. I actually fought the pre-league rival, and yeah, he almost lost because of Blastoise with Rain Dance and Water Gun. Otherwise, outside of that, it was fine. The Victory Road was fine, and then, yeah, it's funny. Like when I had Charizard, anytime they would lower my attack because I was using Wing Attack, I was like, man, I just switched to Flamethrower and just burned them. But yeah, like I said, this gym mostly was just doing that, but right now Venusaur's struggling because they're poison types. But either way, I managed to get done with Charizard. I did end up going back, and I need to heal that paralysis away. But oh, nice. Well, thanks for checking it out. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, if you want to check out those other streams as well, right now I'm doing I am pretty much doing once a week, so usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday is usually when I've been streaming. I sometimes try to do more than that, but due to, you know, all that fun stuff, like life and all that fun stuff. You know, sometimes have to pause. That's a good question. I think usually it's around... I start around like 5 to 8 Central Time. And usually, like, sometimes, like, I might do more, like, thing. Usually, like, depending on how excited I am. Or if I'm, like, I'm not, like, super busy or something like that. Or, like, right now, like, I've been kind of fighting a cold, so my voice is a little off. Yeah, so I am curious about how well Blastoise is going to do, because right now, of the three, he's my favorite. But the fact that he's only going to have access to Water Gun until this gym right here where he can learn Surf. Well, I guess technically I don't have to do the gym before I learn Surf. But then he can learn Surf. He can get Water Pulse from Misty, but as noted, it's a one-time use one. As far as I'm aware, you can't get Water Pulse again. And I think... Oh, wait, oops. I did not mean to say hi to you. Ah. Alright. Generally speaking, I like my work hours are pretty set. I work morning to afternoon in Monday through Thursday. Oh, that's fine. Now that I think about it, I actually could have gotten strength before this fight. I don't know why I didn't think about getting strength before this gym. Oh, you kidding me? I mean, admittedly, I'd rather you minimize than you use the other one on me, but yeah. Oh, great. I'm starting to miss. Okay. Oh no, I don't have any. I only have super potions right now. Okay. Let's see how much it's actually doing. 25. Lovely. Come on. What's sad is I'm pretty sure I still need 2 more cuts to finish him off. There we go. Yep. You're kidding me. What's annoying is I didn't save before this. I still don't remember the last time I saved. So I think it's probably the more annoying part. Defenses? Okay, this is where we switch to Razor Leaf. Come on, I need you to hit and crit and like just do all the damage. Thank you. Now crit and do all the damage, please. That's all it did? And he's got more sludges, of course. Crit, do all the damage, please. Oh, that wasn't a crit. What? Whew. No. You're not supposed to crit. I'm supposed to be the one to crit. That's... What? Oh, you get 2 crits in a row, you cheater. Go back to using something besides sludge. That's fine. I'm done using cut on you anyways. Oh great. I'm nearly out of potions. Maybe he might be closer to out of those. Let's hope. Come on. Okay. Yeah, he's pulling out all the stuff, so he's gotta be, like... Just because he stopped using sludge doesn't mean he's run out of sludge. Because a lot of times when they have... Not, like, when they get down to, like, a few more, they'll start using other... they'll start using, like, other, moves and stuff. Okay. Good. He's done. Doesn't know, at least there's a wheezing. And a coughing. Cool. Hate that. Just don't go boom. That's fine. Like I said, as long as you didn't go boom. Alright, cool. The wheezing is... Funny enough, he actually can go boom. At least in Gen 1, which is super weird that Gen 1 wheezing can go boom. Ow! Okay. I have no idea if when the screen goes black like that, I don't know if it actually affects the stream or not. Of course. Why am I missing? Super potion. Okay. I'll switch to Razor Leaf. Oh, so close. Don't crit, don't crit, don't crit, don't crit. Okay, last chance. Okay, good. Whew. Yeah, I should have gotten strength because I feel like the muck would have gone down with my strengths before that because, yeah. Oh, toxic. Oh wait, I forget. That's a one-time use move, so never mind. Alright. Now we get to go through here. I'll go ahead and get rid of and deposit that Snorlax since I'm not going to be using him. If you're wondering why I caught all those Pokemon, it's because to get Flash, you have to register 10 Pokemon in your Pokedex. I need to get some like Hyper Potions or something after this. Alright. That would help with the gym. It's funny how those are called rest houses, but it still counts your steps in them, which is kind of sad. Okay, got the Teethers. In this lake, you can find your teeny if you have a gold or super rod. So that's fun. That's fun, you know. Yeah, I forgot. I don't have Lapras yet. Oh. So a fun trick to help you with like catching Pokemon is if you move, it's a little bit harder with the joystick, but if you move like that, you can get an encounter like this without using any steps. Generally, you want to find a place that's like in a corner like this, so it's a lot easier. But yeah. I'm just kind of using up my stuff so that I can hopefully get through it quicker. Tauros. He's a rare one. Tauros, Chansey, and Kangaskhan, I believe, are the rare ones. Depending on the location, it could either be a 1% or a 5%. Wonder which will happen first. Will I run out of Safari Balls or will I run out of steps? Probably the steps, since I've been moving around. You never know. Hi, Horn. Nice. Only because this is a legitimate copy. Otherwise, I'm like, why would I be wasting my time? Alrighty. Wait, how does he know that? But he said, like, apparently I was the first one to do it? Yeah, that's crazy. You would think with the rest area they would not count your steps in there. Alright. Oh, wait, what am I doing? You know what? That's fine. I already did it. I'm gonna remove cut. Then go pick up strength. Yes. It's one of these. Yes. No, not you. Oh. I'm silly. It is not Lavender Town. I messed that up the last time. The move deleter is in Saffron. I mean, Fuchsia. Yeah. I'll get my colors right. It's strange that cut is 50 base power, because I was positive that was more like 20 or 30. Unless I like changed it or something. I guess I need to. Now we get an 80 base power move and better accuracy. Still a normal type, but you know. Okay, I guess next we are going to take on the tower. And one of the reasons why I was going to have Pikachu is going to use him for, like, to use Flash instead of Paris. Because Paris can learn Flash and Cut. But then I realized that since Venusaur can learn Strength, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just go back to using Paris. Now for the Gauntlet. Usually the way I like to do this is I like to go get the key first so that I can just go through each floor systematically. I believe it's floor 5. Is it floor 5 or 6? Yes, this is the right place. Yay, Magneton, the Steel-type Pokemon. Yeah, electric too, but still. Oh yeah, that was fine. It's funny because you get to the point where even like Charizard, sometimes the rock Pokemon just didn't want to die in one hit, but eventually they start dying. Oh, wait, hold up. No, I didn't mean to use that. This is a feature I miss from the newer games. You can actually swap the moves around during the battle phase. Or not battle phase, but during that. Instead of having to go into the menus and stuff. Something I miss being able to do. I think Gen... I don't remember if they stopped it in Gen 3 or 4. And I think it was... Yeah. Oh, it's so much better than Cut. It's weird because of where they position that teleporter. That you have to get on a teleport, like you have to go into the teleporter and then like come back. Because I mean, if I really wanted to just like leave, like go straight for the boss. Well, okay, yeah, I think it's on the 2nd floor. I think it's where I'd need to go. Typically, like, I know, like, once you get to the floor that has the bed on it, you just follow that. Like, just hit the next teleporter after that, going down that place. But, since I'm going to need the experience, and this is going to help me get the experience. Because you can't get it again once they're gone, sadly. There's the other routes that I kind of skipped. You can eventually go back and get it, you know. Strength is definitely going to help our Sabrina problem. Because yeah, a lot of her Pokemon just don't have good physical defense. So hit them with a good move, and they're gonna go down. Alright, now that I got the key, I head back to the 2nd floor. Oh no, I guess it'd be the 3rd floor. Well, I'm headed to the 2nd floor, but I meant like the place where you need to go to get the thing. It's just easier to do it this way, because then I can just like get access to all like the guys and stuff. So I don't have to sweep through it twice. See, look at all these Pokemon that, generally speaking, you're not going to want to use your Venusaur for. Like, you could have them out front to begin with and just take the hits, but otherwise, yeah. It's gonna suck. Oh, I could have used Razor Leaf on Eradicate. I don't know why I didn't. No kids allowed. But sir, I am a grown man. I just randomly look like a kid. Knowing what happened to that the story about the Cubone, like that poor Cubone. Like he knows that they like Cubone skulls, yet he's still with them. Funny enough, if you select press A, it lets you know the door's open. She doesn't do anything, so. Help, he's a self-employee. Well, you're not. Like I said, I'm kind of glad he's a poison type Pokemon, because otherwise getting poisoned is going to be sad. Charizard typically didn't have to deal with being poisoned, because he would usually barbecue you before you had the chance. But Venusaur doesn't get that shot. So that's why I'm curious about how Blastoise is going to fare. Because again, primarily water gun. Which is decent, but like, is he gonna get water gun, bite, and some other offensive moves that, you know, typically in a playthrough isn't exactly gonna help win you any points. You know, like sure he can use withdrawal, but like, good and competitive, not exactly good in John, I have like, I'm also streaming to my Facebook, and I see like closed captioning. I did not say John. What the? Sometimes like the closed captioning is just funny. I want to see if I know. See, I want to say it's floor 9. Yeah, I think so. I think it's just past those doors on the left. Excuse me. Yeah, that's right. Anyways, what floor was I on? 3rd or 4th floor? Okay. Ooh. So yeah, I guess Blastoise will eventually get strength as well, which will help, but he also would get it around the same time in Surf. But granted, having... Okay, this is the spot. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, because we go here. Yep. Alright, I'm not doing it yet. I love how I'm just some kid that's just like, it's like, you know what, Team Rocket's here. I'm just gonna take a bunch of stuff. And the company will just think Team Rocket took it, obviously. Always fun to see that. Because what's kind of interesting to me is, I remember, so I watch MJ he's a fun dude to watch. And he also, I think, ranked the starters, but for starters, like, he only took into consideration the major milestones with, like, the gym leaders and stuff. And, well, I'm not saying they don't play a factor, they're not the only factor. How I mentioned with Viridian Forest, he didn't really take Viridian Forest into consideration. The fact that Bulbasaur, despite the fact he's great against Brock and great against Misty, he struggles against Viridian Forest. And in some ways, he kind of struggles, not as badly, but he struggles a little bit with Mount Moon. Because, well, okay, I guess it's more like if you think about the Zubats you run into, but you can just run away from those. So, yeah, so it's like, there are other factors, in my opinion, which is why I kind of wanted to do this. Because, like, this all started back in the day when I was a kid and I played Fire Red and Leaf Green for the first time. For my Fire Red, I picked Charizard. And for Leaf Green, I picked Venusaur. The reason why is because I don't know where I heard this, or if it was just something that I thought I Mandela affected my own brain to thinking I did hear it. But regardless, for some reason I thought that if you picked the starter that was on the cover, you actually got an actual boost for doing so. So if you play Fire Red, you get a boost. I mean, Charizard will get a boost, like stat boost or something like that, as opposed to if you pick like Blastoise and Venusaur. Same thing with Leaf Green with Venusaur. So that's why I ended up picking them for my starters. So either way, so I played through it, and this was back in the day when I was this was back in the day when I pretty much only used one Pokemon. Like, my first game, Gold version, I pretty much played through the entire thing with my Typhlosion, and then in a... Oh yeah, I've already fought you. But, yeah, so... And then when I got Ruby and Sapphire, the same thing, except with my Torchic. And so when I played Fire Red, I, of course, pretty much only used Charizard. Yeah, so essentially, okay, so that's pretty much what I did. So when I play, the difference was when I played Sapphire, I actually used, I actually did 2 Pokemon, which was Sceptile and Swampert, because I didn't just play them, I had like a little story thing, whatever going on with my stuff. So I had this character, her name was Kaylee, and I liked the idea that because my character at the time picked Torchic, I don't know where I heard this from, but apparently I heard that not everyone picked both starters. Or maybe it's just because the fact that it says the rival is my main like my Ruby version rival, since that rival picked Mudkip. Like, oh, no one likes to pick Trico, so I had them pick Trico because she was eventually going to also just pick Mudkip, so I had to get both. And that was like a little story thing I did. How I did it, I traded it. Like, I started the game, got the Trico, traded to Ruby, reset, traded back to Trico, etc. Anyways, so when I played Leaf Green, yeah, the point of the story was like, so I played Leaf Green, and during it, I only used Venusaur, except for 2 things. One, okay, side note, I don't remember, okay. There was one caveat to this. See, when I played Gold version, first off, I didn't know about the experience share, which would have been so much thing, because my first level 100 was my Typhlosion, and my second one was actually a Lugia. I don't know why I picked Razor Leaf for a Zubat, but we did it. Here it goes now. Oh, that bad. Of course. But, so, and then, I think, no. My second one was a Scyther, and then was Lugia. I think. Those 2 might have gotten switched around. But the reason why is because it took forever to do that. So I don't remember if I did it in Ruby and Sapphire, but I know by at least by playing Leaf Green, I did pretty much only use Venusaur. I think pretty sure the same thing with Charizard, so that later whenever I wanted like a team, so I had them like have fun facing each other, I set a second Pokemon that I'd have that character use on their team or whatever, and I give an experience share. Well, I was struggling so... Like, Charizard didn't have a problem, did not end up using whatever the second Pokemon was. I actually don't even remember what it was, unfortunately. Which is why I kind of wonder if I only did it for Leaf Green. No, because... No, I remember I did, because I remember thinking about how... Either way, I ended up using the second Pokemon a little bit because of how much Venusaur struggled. Well, obviously, I was a kid, and I didn't exactly have the capture card and all that fun stuff back in the day, so I just had, my thing. And I ended up using a second Pokemon. And I have to remember I was also a kid, so like, oh, well, maybe the struggle wasn't as bad, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. And that's weird. I think it even kind of applies to even using Grass Type in Johto. Because I remember later, I don't know, I think I see like the PowerPoints, like, oh, I should start using Razor Leaf a little bit more. But, he's like, yeah, because I remember when I played Crystal version, I used Meganium. And I remember struggling with that specifically because of Team Rocket. And I remember in this game, one of the biggest things was Team Rocket and all their poison type Pokemon and their steel types, things like that. And Venusaur doesn't exactly get the best moveset. Now, is it gonna get Venusaur gonna get the job done? Sure. You know, Razor Leaf, Counter Strength, etc. Your choice of powder and Leech Seed, it's going to get the job done, but it's going to take forever to do it. And then it kind of like lowers the experience, not like experience points, but like, you know what I mean. Anyways, when you have to constantly go to a healing spot just to heal, I'm not even necessarily referring to healing your HP and stuff, but more like power points, you know? Because a lot of these moves only have so many, so it's not exactly the best when it comes to like these types of like traveling things. So it can suck. I did not say that. Wow. Sorry, I was looking at the closed caption again on the Facebook thing. Anyways. Yeah, I needed to go heal again. Get power points. Because each time it takes one more move to knock out a Pokemon, that's one less you get. So, spell mouse. No, my Pikachu is in my PC. Oh, were you smelling your own mouse? But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's still a little bit subjective, but at the same time, like sure, Brock is going to be a thing, but after Brock, you get access to Vileplume or, what's the other one? Victory Bell. And I kind of feel like they're kind of in the same state, except a little bit better. Okay, well, Vileplume has the problem with only getting to know, Absorb. Like, it takes him forever to learn like a better grass type move, but at the very least he gets access to poison type moves eventually. I'll have to look at Victory Bell, but like I think Victory Bell might actually just be better. That's their fire type Pokemon. Yeah, okay, so you eventually get access to, say, really, your next fire type Pokemon you can get access to is actually, like, I think all of the fire type Pokemon, with one exception, which is Magmar, you get access to in one location, and that's Celadon / right before Celadon type thing. Cause like, okay, so you can get cause like Celadon is we get both Eevee and a Firestone if we want Flareon, and then the other ones is of course Growlithe. Okay, I know there's one other fire type, but that's literally like right after Celadon-ish, which is Ponyta, which you can find in the tall grass at the bike spot. But otherwise, you get Growlithe or Ninetales, depending on your version. So, as for water, like, because I was thinking about potentially doing a second, like, 2 more runs for each, another run for each starter, but, so, the way I do it is I kind of like how Blue does his thing. He has the same set team, except he rotates out certain different starters. So in my case, what I was going to do is I was going to pick a very specific team, making sure I use like a proper grass type replacement, water type replacement, and then fire type replacement. I don't know who I'd use for the water replacement though. I guess it depends, because like again, if I did like one for fire red and one for leaf green, you know, because like again, there's a difference between like using Victreebel and Vileplume, and of course, Ninetales versus Arcanine. But yeah. But I might do that for like maybe a part 2 or something like that, you know? Now I'm running out of power points. Outside of that, I'm really hoping the rest of my... Yeah, I definitely need to go heal. Oh, great. Don't like that. Great. That's a problem. Okay, good, good. I just gotta hope this last guy is not a poison type Pokemon. It is a poison type Pokemon. Please die to one Razor Leaf. Good. Okay. That was kind of scary. Ish. I don't think I'm in the right floor. Nope. One floor up, I think. Or no. Yeah. I already fought that guy, so I can just... Yeah, cool. I haven't decided on how far I'm gonna get before I call it for this episode. Obviously, I'm gonna finish this. I guess I'm debating on if I want to just call it after this, or if I'm gonna call it, or if I'm gonna try to take on Sabrina. Because it depends on how, like, I guess depends. Because we're almost done. We're on floor 8 of 11. Floor 11 only has 1. I'm not, like, obviously I'm not counting in the Giovanni fight. I'm talking about, like, going through each floor. So, floor 11 only has 1 fight on it. I don't know the rest. Then I have at least 1, 2, 3 fights before Giovanni once I finish cleaning the floors. Oh, that's a clearing and it's a cleaning. Anyways, yep. You're an evil scientist. I have already decided on probably what my next Fire Red and Leaf Green challenge is going to be. And let's just say it's going to be a doozy. So essentially, my next challenge is going to be, I am going to play through, I'm going to do a no damage run. Probably going to do a limited saves because, well, what I call limited saves. The difference between the two is with the limited saves, I can save whenever I like as long as I reset it before I move on to the next thing. Yeah, so as long as I reset it before I do anything, yeah. So if I take damage, I reset. If somehow I accidentally save after I take damage, then I have to basically reset the entire thing. It's just because really, it's just saving time. Like, there's not much of a difference between it. I already, like, the first one I did was Emerald, so it makes sense. I guess the next one will be Fire and Leaf Green. I'm hoping the start will be a little bit easier. Let's just say, yeah, funny enough, I was originally going to do the checkpoints version until, yeah, the first two challenges, like, was evil. First off, to get past the Zigzagoon, you wasn't even guaranteed to get past the Zigzagoon without taking any damage. Then, the May fight. Like, I ended up using, like, Mud Shot and things like that to lower the accuracy just to be able to get by. But before that, you were not getting past that May fight. How dare you paralyze my Venusaur, sir? So, yeah, it wasn't very nice. So, it's taken forever. I was like, I don't know, 12 plus some hours in. Like, at that time, I was streaming for like 4 hours, ish, a day. Like, for episode, and I think the episode was about, like, the 4th episode before I finally shifted to unlimited saves. So I could just, like, evolve my thing. Not evolve. But, so I could just, like, get that Mud Shot or whatever. Yeah. When I said it's evil, it was evil. But, this time, you have to get past your rival. Which is your very first challenge. The odds of that happening is admittedly probably better than, it might be a little bit better than, the May fight, but, who really knows? That's what I'm hoping, because, yeah, once I get past the rival fight, then I plan on picking Charmander. Because I've already gone over the problems with Venusaur. And that's the funny thing is, for the most part, because I was OHKOing stuff left and right, you know, Charmander is still the best Pokemon to use for that. I didn't really have any other issues until the Elite Four. And yeah, I can have other Pokemon by that point. Because I'm not saying, oh, I can't catch other Pokemon, I just can't take damage. So, yeah, like, that's why Charmander is the best option. Because then I can easily go, like, seriously, I can easily get through Viridian Forest. Not even just get through Viridian Forest, it's going to make training a breeze. You know? If I do need to train, because seriously, one Ember wipes out just about every single Pokemon that's in Viridian Forest, except probably Pikachu. One hit. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I just do that? Okay, cool. We're almost there. I can't remember. Well, okay, yeah. Charmander learns Leer, I want to say. Pretty sure. I hope so. The reason why I say that is because the odds of... Dang it, I don't remember if he has Growl or... Oh man, does he really have Growl? I think he does have Growl. Dang. Mostly because lowering his defense and then so many stages and then using tackle decreases how many times you have to use it. So that will help get past him. Because I'm pretty sure I have done some rival fights just playing through it normally without taking any damage, because he usually he'll focus on using just Leer or things like that. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too difficult once you get to that point. Yeah. Alright, go back to the 9th floor. Do a little heal. Kind of wish they actually did come out with a water blue or whatever in addition to the other two, because admittedly Blastoise is my favorite starter, of at least, well, admittedly I think Blaziken has kind of go over on overall starter, but definitely for Kanto he's my favorite starter. And so because of this, it's I want to play Blastoise, but I feel weird using Fire. I feel weird not picking the starter that's on screen. As in the Fire Red for Charizard or Venusaur for Leaf Green. It feels weird and awkward. It just is weird. I suppose, even though I like red more than, the color red more than the color green, so I guess it kind of makes sense to, yeah, use that, so, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, him starting with Pidgeot it's scary. Because at least with Charizard could knock out the Pidgeot in one hit, and he's nothing weak to it. Unlike Venusaur, who's weak to it. If you stop to think about it, you get so many Pokemon that Venusaur just does not like with your rival. Like picking Venusaur? Because seriously, Executor, Grass, Psychic type. Alakazam, Psychic type. There he is. Pidgeot, Flying type. Alakazam. Well, I already said Alakazam. And Charizard, Fire and Flying. So your rival just stacked against Venusaur. Well, there's Gyarados. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that's sad. His water type Gyarados? He literally resists. I mean, because he's dual flying type, yeah, you don't have to worry about that, but you no longer get your, yeah, that's not good. And I didn't get any heals. I don't know why I did not. Hopefully this is just a quick 2-shot. It is not. Okay. I don't like that. Stay asleep until you're dead. Thank you. You know, I just reset the game. Is I don't really care about. Oh, you lose, but I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna go get some heals. Because, yeah, we are way past. Need something better. It's interesting, this is one of the only buildings you can run in. Excuse me. Alright. We're all good to go. Yeah, it's crazy how Charizard gets access to Flamethrower so quickly. I mean, yeah, I guess technically you do get access to, but yeah, you do get access to Razor Leaf quicker, but yeah, after that, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. So I don't know why I stopped here when I could have just went to the second floor, but whatever. The third floor. Alright, cool. Just starting to get a little hungry. But yeah, Blue's team just hates. Like, yeah, not hates, but like Venusaur just does not like Blue's team. Okay, I'm immediately getting rid of that because I am not dealing with that going in the Charizard. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, his one water type, you still have to deal with that. Oh, sweet, I got him before. Oh, that's right, yeah, because... Oh, nice. Yeah, getting rid of paralysis was huge. Because then wasn't able to get the barrier up, so now I can freely strength them to death. Okay, we'll take those. Yeah, the downside to him is like your stab razor leaf is no longer super effective. It's just neutral. I mean, it's fine because it's still a 2-hit KO, but still. All right, cool. That is taken care of. For being a genius, like, I am genuinely curious about what Game Freak was thinking about putting the rival there. No. I haven't been nicknaming any of my Pokemon. Because, like, I'm genuinely curious about why they put the rival there. Like... Like, you're literally, like, the story is you go in there to try to stop them. And then your rival comes in to do what? Just to make sure you're prepared to take on the boss rock. Why doesn't he do it? Alright, if I keep forgetting, there's one more guy here. Cubone. Yeah, the closed caption is so weird. You said I apparently thought I said Cuban. It's weird because I actually said Cupid. I guess it's more Cuban. And they actually put bin that time. Like Q. And then it was Cupid. Okay, no, I didn't say Cupid. Alright. I'm not super, like, I'm not expecting to. Like, this should be decent. We're gonna be able to razor leaf majority of this Pokemon. Thankfully, he can't poison me, so that's always nice. Should be an Oko. Yep. Don't know. Like I said, it's neutral. No. Pretty sure Charizard was at least a 2-hit KO. With Flamethrower, of course, but still. I could have been wrong. Yeah, I could have been an Oka, I don't remember. Yep, fake out can be evil. Should be an easy one. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah, I'm not gonna take. I'll wait till next time to take on Sabrina. As I'm working back. So next time, I'll be taking on Sabrina. Then of course the fighting dojo. I'll be surfing down Main Street. I'll be headed towards Cinnabar. Do the mansion. Hopefully, I don't know. I might need to stop and do some level grinding before Blaine because, yeah, Blaine is a fire type. We'll see. Because yeah, I know if I start skipping some trainers, it is going to be an issue with that. But yeah, so outside of that, the next one will probably. So that and Blaine. That'll take too long. Then we'll head up, do Viridian Gym, take on Yeah. So depends. Like I kind of. It might take 2, maybe 3 more episodes to finish. Like I said, depends on how. I just said depends on how Blaine goes. Because if I have to stop and train up before I need to do Blaine, that's going to be an issue. But yeah. Anyways, so thank you all so much for watching. Oh, God bless. Take care, and we'll see you sometime next week potentially. All right. Bye.